Answering your questions, part 2. Knights of Emerald asks, have you ever traveled abroad? If so, where and why? If not, where would you like to go? I have traveled abroad. I've been to London and Paris, and I went with my school trip to Paris once, and I went with my mother figure to London and Paris, and it was lovely, and I'd love to go back, and I'd also love to go to the French countryside and the English countryside because I hear they're gorgeous. And I'd love to go to Wales and Scotland and Ireland and all that area. I think that would be lovely. Little Miss Gleek 456 asks, have you ever starred in any musicals? If so, what role did you play? I've done Chiffon in Little Shop of Horrors, Rosalie in West Side Story, Paquette in Candide, Old Lady in Candide, Fosca in Passion. More than that, but I don't know, I'm not going to list everything, but they've been really fun. Gillis1984 asks, hi Kyle, what would it be a dream show to do? What would be a dream role to do? If you could play a part normally played by a guy, what would it be? Dream show to do, I would love to do Angels in America. I'm not sure what capacity as director or being in it or whatever, but I'd love that show so much. I love shows that touch your heart and evolve you emotionally. That could be a word, and make you think. And so you're not only being kind of your heartstrings Spielberg tugged, but it has a purpose and it makes you kind of look at the world a little different way. And I love that. And what would be a dream role to do? I would never get to play this, but I would love to play Caroline in Caroline or Change because I love that show, and I think that's just such an amazing role. Not quite the right type, though. If you could play a part normally played by a guy, what would it be? George in Sunday in the Park with George. I find him so fascinating because he has such a rich inner life, but it's so trapped within him. And he can only really express it through his art, and I think that would be such a great challenge and such an interesting role, an interesting character. Fascinating. I would love the chance to play George. Maybe one day. Classical Music Junkie asks, marry, sleep with, unfriend. Matthew Morrison, Neil Patrick Harris, Steve Kazi. I would marry Neil Patrick Harris because, of course. Steve Kazi, I wouldn't really want to sleep with, but he seems like a perfectly nice guy. And Matthew Morrison, he seems fine, but he's on Glee. He could go do Glee. And marry, sleep with, unfriend Kristen Chenoweth, Idina Menzel, Sutton Foster, and I would get married, and Kristen and Idina could go enjoy themselves on their own. Reggie Mo asks, how many singers, entertainers, performers are in your family? None. My dad could kind of sort of stay on key, and my mom could not as much. Multi-Makeup Doll asks, what was the first show you ever did, and what role did you play? An unauthorized version of the Disney version of Aladdin. I played the ticket taker. It was a role in the show, and I had like 2 lines. And Star2B asks, how do you deal with negative comments here on YouTube? I think it's hard because, I once got somebody telling me I was so ugly I should kill myself. And sometimes people can be very, very nasty and rude. I think what you have to do is recognize that these people aren't saying that really about you, negative things about you. They're saying it's a reflection on them and their self-view, and that they have to put other people down to make themselves feel better. It's not really about you being whatever negative things that these people say to you. It's these people's pain and insecurity that they don't know how to express in any other form other than putting you down. And just kind of really having compassion for that and for them, because that's sad. You feel for them. David Christopher asks, any opinions on the fight for marriage equality in the USA? Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with consenting adults doing something that makes them happy that isn't hurting anyone else. And moreover, having the same rights, spousal rights, that any heterosexual couple might have. It puzzles me. Emily Gracie asks, if you performed a duet with any Broadway singer in the world, who would it be and what would you sing? Oh, gosh. I'd probably have to choose Audra because she was, like, my number one singing idol, but then there's also my other singing idols like Julie Andrews and Shirley Jones, and I would love to. We could do a quartet. That'd be cool. We could just have, like Michael John LaCusa or like Adam Ghetto, like just whip up something. Real Angels asks, I've always been curious on your thoughts on religion and faith and the direction our country is going. Okay, I've been getting a couple of questions about religion and faith. I'm not sure if you mean my personal religion or faith, and I guess I'll share. I personally identify as agnostic with potentially Buddhist leanings. I've only sort of started kind of investigating the Buddhist teachings, and I found kind of that philosophy very interesting. Um, in a general sense, I think religion and faith, like so many things in life, can be a double-edged sword. Um, Whenever somebody is very passionate and really believes in something, I think religion and can provide a great comfort to those who need it, and kind of a sense of place in the universe, and a sense of belonging, and I think that can be a very beautiful thing. On the other hand, for certain people, a lot of wars have been started and fought over religious beliefs and who's right and who's wrong. And I think like many things in life, religion has good and bad points, and I think it's kind of what you make of it and what it means to you, and um, it's I guess it's just a personal choice, like so many things in life.